Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Harrow Incorporated just filed an 8K reporting and material agreement, and I'm seeing a significant shift in their business strategy. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is making a big move to acquire a new drug, and the details of this deal could really reshape their future. Alright, so Harrow Incorporated, a company we've talked about before in the healthcare space, has just announced a major acquisition. They're buying the global rights to a drug called TYRVAYA, which is used to treat dry eye disease. This is a pretty big deal for a company of their size, and it signals a clear focus on expanding their product portfolio in the eye care market. The deal was agreed upon on the 3rd of August 2026. It is an asset purchase agreement with Viatris Incorporated, and it involves acquiring the global rights to TYRVAYA. This isn't just buying a product, they are acquiring the actual new drug application, all the related intellectual property, the technology they've developed, inventory, and some specific contracts and liabilities tied to this drug. So it is a pretty comprehensive pickup. Harrow Inc is the registrant here, and they are incorporated in Delaware. Their ticker symbol is HROW. We've seen some analyst reports recently suggesting significant upside potential, with some even talking about a 73% upside. This acquisition could certainly be a catalyst for that kind of growth if it pans out. This acquisition is a strategic move, and the price tag reflects that Harrow is paying Viatris $30 million in cash at the closing of the deal. But that is not all. There is also the potential for an additional $70 million in contingent milestone payments. These payments are tied to TYRVAYA hitting specific annual net sales targets in the years after the deal closes. So a total potential payout of up to $100 million. That is a significant investment for Harrow, which has a market cap of around $1.5 billion. They expect to fund the initial $30 million payment with cash they already have on hand. The final purchase price will also be adjusted based on the working capital that is transferred with the acquired assets, which is pretty standard for these types of deals. The agreement itself has all the usual clauses you'd expect, standard promises from both sides about the accuracy of information, how the TYRVAYA business will be run before the deal is finalized, and some agreements about employees, to raise also a non-competition clause for Viatris, meaning they won't suddenly start competing with Harrow on this specific drug. The deal is expected to close in the latter half of 2026. However, they are wisely pointing out that there is no guarantee it will happen on that timeline, or even at all. Things like regulatory approvals or other closing conditions could delay or scuttle the deal. They'll also be signing some other agreements alongside this, like a transition services agreement to ensure a smooth handover of operations. This description is just a summary, and they're saying the actual purchase agreement has all the full details. They plan to file the complete agreement as an exhibit to their next quarterly report. Now, here is a really important legal disclaimer they include. The promises and statements made in the purchase agreement are basically between Harrow and Viatris. They were made for the purpose of that specific contract and at specific times. They are not meant to be taken as statements of fact that investors should rely on about the actual condition of the companies. Think of it as promises within a marriage contract, not public declarations about how great life is. Moving on to raise also a Regulation FD disclosure, which is all about making sure information is shared publicly and not just with a select few. On the 6th of August, Harrow put out a press release about this acquisition. That press release is attached as an exhibit to this filing. This press release from the 6th of August is the public announcement of the deal. It is basically a summary of what we just discussed, but it's the official way they've let the market know. Scroll the information contained in this item 7.01, including Exhibit 99.1 furnished herewith. Shall not be deemed filed for purposes of Section 18 of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, as amended the Exchange Act, or